Jay and Miguel here with GCI Solar. We're doing an installation video on the RGM meter, which is a revenue grade meter. We're going to be just going through the steps that it's going to take for the installation. Alright guys, so this is the envoy device right here. This is the device that we're going to use for all our customers, especially the CPF customers. It's a Clean Power Finance company that we use for all our lease jobs. It's pretty similar to the same install that we do with our other envoys. A little bit different. What we're going to do is just kind of go through how the installation of this will work.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so when we are hooking up this envoy, what we're looking for is we want to install this as close to the main electric panel as possible. When we do that, we're going to get a IP address that comes up here that's either going to say a 169 or a 192. 169 means it's not communicated yet with the internet, which is not good. We want to wait until it's going to say a 192 IP address. So when we get that, that usually means that we've established connection to the internet, and it's going to change from -web to +web. If a hardline isn't a possibility, the other recommendation that we say is use a Netgear AV500, which is called an EOP. That's Ethernet over power line. Quick little instruction of how to do that is you're just going to plug it in right here, and you're going to plug the Cat5 cord right here into this little receptacle. Plug it in, plug the other side in this back right here, and you're going to get two LED lights that light up, and that's usually an indicator that it's a good solid connection. A regular receptacle, it cannot go into a GFCI or a surge protector. The reason being is that a surge protector or GFCIs cause too much interference, which will cause the AV500s to not communicate with the Enphase monitor. So, and this is the RGM, the revenue grade meter, and some numbers that you guys really need to pay attention to is this MAC ID right here. It is a 16-digit number, and also there's a number that you're going to use right here, and it is this one right here. It's an install code, 20-digit number that you're going to use for the registration process.
Okay guys, now we're going to go ahead and install the RGM meter. And this is going to be your typical 2-pole 15 amp breaker, and the install crew should have left a little extra wire, a little nice little, maybe about 10 inches extra. So when you go to your AC disconnect, you can go ahead and pull this through the AC disconnect and connect it to the RGM meter. Now we're going to go ahead and put everything together. I'm going to go ahead and put the 3/4 reducing bushing right inside the 1-inch socket. Okay, once you get it in there, you want to go ahead and grab your nipple. This is a 3-inch nipple, but I'd rather use a 2-inch nipple for our purpose. You'll go ahead and tighten it in there. You might want to use your channel locks. Make sure you got a nice tight seal. Okay, now you can go ahead and screw it to your hub. And the last thing you want to do is go ahead and grab your 1-inch plug. Goes to the top of the meter. Use your screwdriver. Make sure it's nice and tight. And this is your meter's going to look right before you install it to your AC disconnect. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and wire the RGM. And the line side of the panel, it should be the very top one, L1, L2, which the install crew left a little bit. If you look over here in the panel, it left a little bit of slack, so we can go ahead and pull that through the AC disconnect. So I'm going to go ahead and undo the wires, loosen up the screws. Go ahead. This is L1, L2. Like everything else, you want to make sure power is off. The AC disconnect and also the main breaker at the panel. And now I'm going to go ahead and fish the line side it's coming from the main breaker to the top of the terminals to the RGM. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and pull a little bit of slack that the guys left for us at the install. So these two wires are going to go to the bottom terminals of the RGM. We got L1. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and connect the L1 and L2 to the meter socket. What you want to do is you want to strip about an inch of insulation from each wire. L1, I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the bottom terminal for the meter socket. Make sure you pull on the wire after you tighten up the screw. Just make sure you got it nice and tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the L2 to the other side of the bottom terminal. And that's it for the line side of the main panel going to the RGM. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and wire the low side of the meter to your PVC solder going up to the roof. I'm going to go ahead and fish the wire there. Okay. You want to make sure you got your ground in there. Don't forget to pull your ground through there. Okay, now that I went ahead and I pulled the rest of the wires through the 2-inch nipple, I'm going to go ahead and connect the top side of the meter, which is the load side going to the panels to the roof. I get L1. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do the ground first. This way I can get that out the way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up the screw right here. When you loosen up that screw, this little plate, right behind this plate, that's where you can stick your number 8 ground. Okay, when we're ready. Okay, so I'm bonding the meter socket. You can either go ahead and tie it into your grounding bushing, or you can use an irreversible crimp on the number 8. Whatever you want to use. Make sure you get the number 8 in there all the way. Okay, now that I got the ground in there, go ahead and wire up the terminals on the AC disconnect. L2, so I go to the top, the AC disconnect. Meter socket, I got L1 here that goes to the top on the left side, which is the low side. Okay. That's L1. Now L2 is going to go to the right side, top socket of your meter, which is again the load side. Okay, like everything else, make sure you're pulling the wires. Make sure you got a nice connection there. The wires are not going to come out. And that's it for the installation and wiring of the meter socket.